Welcome back to DBS and the DFL studio. Tonight we're talking to St. Lucia's Commissioner of Police, Vernon Francois, but before that, here's a quick reminder of our giveaways. Name the optimistic club that DFL is encouraging you to help by purchasing a $20 ticket, and DFL will buy that ticket for you. You could win $5,000 and you can keep all the proceeds if you win. Rotary Calabashes perform With Love at the Gaiety this Saturday, 24th November. When and where does With Love take place? 2 winners will receive 1 ticket free, but each winner must buy 1 ticket to qualify, and the ticket is $75. The Megua's Brilliant Solutions new car care kit includes 7 different precisely selected products to wash, dry and wax your car. Name any 4 of those products and you'll receive this complete car care kit. The winner will be drawn next week. What a wonderful Christmas present. Lucia-.com is St. Lucia's online bulletin board where you can find jobs, post your CV and resume, buy and sell items and much more. When was Lucia-.com launched? The answer can be found on Lucia-.com. The winner receives $50 cash. Now, Commissioner Francois, your job sounds like a 24-hour job. How do you actually manage to switch off when you're home? Do you read a book? Do you relax? What do you do?
Well, I watch a lot of CNN, and I
thought you were going to say soaps for a while. No.
No.
Okay.
No, I watch the news or also sports channels. So if my TV at home has CNN and also the sports channel like ESPN and Sportsmax, I'll be okay. I also play Sudoku when I have the time. I'm actually a Sudoku freak, actually.
Are you? Oh,
and,
gosh.
I play it really. I think it's nice in a kind of a
on
nice
a computer
game.
or by a book?
Well, anyhow I get to play it, I play it really. So when I travel around, I normally have a book of Sudoku too. And if I get on an aircraft, the first thing I'm looking for is with Sudoku. But I suppose I try my best not to be a police officer 24 hours a day and do stuff, normal stuff human beings do really. So.
You know what they say, about no work and, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, which I'm sure you're not. Okay, so where in St. Lucia did you grow up? Where were you born and where did you grow up?
Well, I was born in the very picturesque village of Choiseul. I grew up in Choiseul, attended my secondary school in Choiseul, junior secondary school it was at the time. And then I move up to Vieux-Fort Senior. Well, at the time it was called Vieux-Fort Comprehensive Secondary School. But I was generally born and brought up in Choiseul.
Okay, good. Well, I mean, I'm sitting here with tons and tons of questions, and I've got some of my own, but because I don't want to let our viewers down, and some of them were thinking, she's never going to ask him these questions, we're going to ask everything that you've asked us to. All right, these are just a couple of light ones here from Linda. What does the Commissioner like to do with his spare time? Well, I've just asked that one, Linda. Today is a feast of musicians. Does the Commissioner play an instrument? If not, what instrument would he like to be able to play? That's from Zarella.
Unfortunately, I don't play any instrument, and I'm not generally. I prefer to just listen to music as opposed to play it any at all, really.
And so I'm assuming you can't sing then?
No, I won't even try to sing.
Okay, all right then. All right, I'm just going to go through some of these questions. They're going to be some kind of light and some hard. I'm just going to do them as my eyes fall on them because there's just so many. Okay, what do you miss most about being an ordinary man?
Well, I want to think of myself as an ordinary man. As I said, I try to remain grounded as much as possible. The only thing, sometimes in the job that I am, you have to give up your privacy really, because I guess you are easily recognized, or people, sometimes you go someplace in a private function, but somebody always has something to say or complain or something. So I think sometimes you have to be very tolerant really, because it comes with the job. But I think generally speaking, I try my best to be as ordinary as I can be.
But can you really enjoy yourself when you go out? I mean, would you kind of just, let it loose and...
At least not on St. Lucia, really.
Okay. Now what about friends? I mean, how do they relate to you? Do they expect favors?
Well, some of them do, but generally my friends remain my friends, and they understand that I'm not going to do anything just on the basis of friendship. That if I'm going to, I set a standard for myself, and if you are my friend, you won't want me to do anything that is necessarily not the right thing to do. But I suppose if I can help out a friend by doing the right thing, I'll be happy to do it really. So.
Why did you want to become a police officer to start?
Well, I didn't really want to become a police officer really. I wanted a job. I was out of secondary school at the time, and was searching for a job, and there were some vacancies in the police department. I applied. My main intention at the time was to spend 2 years in policing and then to move up to do something else. But I generally fell in love with policing because it provided me with an opportunity to make a difference, to, in a sense, help people who, you know, depend on you a lot. So if somebody is in a situation where their house has been broken into, they depend a lot on the police. So you find you are able to help somebody with a particular problem. So I kind of, whereas I did not choose to be a police officer, I think I fell in love with policing very early already.
Have you ever regretted being in the police force, and, you know, especially after everything that, you know, that was happening, to actually confirm your post?
No, I've not regretted at all. I've enjoyed well, I suppose there are obvious down moments, but mostly I've enjoyed my job, and if I'm to live my life all over, I wouldn't mind being a police officer, really.
Okay, and how did that actually affect your, you know, position in terms of the back and forth, you know, are you the commissioner, are you the acting commissioner? I mean, how did that actually affect your relationship with the former Commissioner Oswald Regis?
Well, first of all, it didn't bother me much because I always took the view that I wasn't the one who determined who's Commissioner of Police. So while I was there, I was doing my very best, you know, while I was on the job. In terms of my relationship with former Commissioner Regis, I think at the moment, unfortunately, we don't have a relationship as such. We spoke very well. We dealt with each other very well. We had an excellent relationship leading up to while he was Commissioner of Police. But I think we basically fell out of communication. Why
do you think that is?
Well, I do not know. When I first got the job, I made repeated attempts to call him at the time for, well, I cannot ascribe reasons to it, but he did not take my calls. So I stopped calling, and then through the years, we just kind of dropped out of communication. I have no ill feeling towards him. I am very thankful for the contribution he made as a police officer, and I'm sure that during my stint in the force before I became Commissioner of Police, he supported me well. So I think while our relationship lasted, it was very good, and I have no negative thoughts about him, but just that we just, I guess, drop out of speaking to each other, and maybe I may need to make a greater effort for us to get back on speaking terms, but I suppose it's just one of those things where you spend quite a while without speaking to somebody and you are not in communication with the person. Well,
in my conversations with you and in the interviews that I've heard you being part of, you always seem to be wanting to make the peace or keep the peace, and yet you say that you're not a godly person in terms of in terms of prayer and so on. But I mean, to me, that's godliness in how the way that you react.
But like I said, I believe in the fundamental Christian principles that you love your neighbor as yourself, and what you won't want for yourself, you won't want for somebody else. I won't want to step on anybody's toes. I won't want to do to somebody what I will not want for myself, and I firmly believe in that. I am not Christian in the prayer sense, really. I think a lot of people, they focus on Christian, on praying, and I think the Bible speaks about these people as people with a form of godliness, but they deny the power thereof, you know. So I think I can speak a bit about Bible because I was, back in the day in Chusel, I was actually an acolyte when I was growing up in Chusel.
God, it's getting worse. When you go home, you're going to have so much problems with your mom. How can an acolyte, oh no, anyway, that's something completely different. But I mean, how would you say, did you prefer being a police officer than have the level of responsibility that you have now?
I think I enjoyed both, but I suppose the level of responsibility I have now is more significant in the sense that it really gives you a chance really to directly lead a group of very impressionable police officers who want to do well. So it gives me a chance to really be able to support every single police officer, you know, and then also to help to try and make a difference in Saint Lucia. And I think being Commissioner of Police, it puts me in a better position to make a difference than just an ordinary police officer. But there is a significant role for ordinary police officers because they are the ones, you know, who carry the work forward. So the Commissioner of Police sets the vision and things like that. But in terms of the really hard work and being out on the streets and doing the traffic jobs and doing everything else, is the ordinary police officers who would do it. So I think we should have healthy respect for them also. Okay,
and you've said this time and time again in terms of always trying to bring out the positivity in our good police officers. But I mean, we cannot hide the fact that you know, as much as we have good police officers, we have bad ones, and people will always be questioning you as to what's happening to those type of police officers. So when we come back from the break, we actually want to talk about the good and the bad, and how we can make things better, especially if we are a Christian society. Then perhaps we are all involved in this, and we should look at things slightly differently. But before we go to the break, here's a reminder of this week's giveaways. Name the Optimistic Club that DFL is encouraging you to help by purchasing a $20 ticket, and we will buy you a ticket, and you can keep all the proceeds if you win. When and where does Rotary Calabasas Perform with Love take place? 2 winners will receive 1 ticket free, but each winner must buy 1 ticket to qualify, and the ticket is $75. The Megawatt's Brilliant Solutions new car care kit includes 7 differently precisely selected products to wash, dry and wax your car. Name any of those products, 4 of them. You'll receive one of the car kits we just mentioned, and the winner will be drawn next week. This is the Law Factor Live on DBS. When we come back, we're going to have some more hard-hitting questions that you have actually sent to us, so stay with us.